We begin with an idea that has crawled out of the basements of science fiction and into the polished halls of mainstream academic thought. It is a concept so jarring that it forces a re-evaluation of everything we have ever known. The idea is this: our reality, our universe, all of it, is a simulation. For decades, this was a philosophical parlor game, but now, it is a hypothesis being seriously debated by some of the world's most brilliant physicists, cosmologists, and information theorists. The arguments for it are disturbingly compelling. The first is the simple logic of Nick Bostrom's simulation trilemma. He argues that any sufficiently advanced civilization will almost certainly develop the computational power to simulate a universe with conscious beings. Given this, one of three things must be true: either all advanced civilizations go extinct before reaching this godlike stage, or they reach it but for some ethical or moral reason, they all choose not to run such simulations, or we are almost certainly living in one. Given the sheer number of potential civilizations and the laws of probability, the third option becomes the most statistically likely. Our universe is not the base reality. It is one of perhaps billions of ancestor simulations running on a computer we cannot even imagine. But the evidence goes far deeper than statistics. It is embedded in the very laws of our physics. The universe, when we look at it on its most fundamental level, behaves less like a physical place and more like a high-performance video game. In the quantum realm, particles do not seem to have definite properties, like position or momentum, until we observed them. This is the observer effect. Why would reality wait for us to look? A video game developer would know the answer: it saves processing power. The system does not render the details of an object until the player's camera is pointed at it. Our physical laws themselves are a clue. The speed of light, the Planck length, these are not just natural limits. They are the processing speed and pixel size of our reality. They are the hard-coded parameters of the simulation's engine, the absolute limits of the code to prevent the system from crashing. The universe is finely tuned for life, a fact that has baffled scientists. The values of fundamental constants, like the strength of gravity, are so impossibly perfect that if they were altered by even 1 part in a trillion, the universe as we know it would be impossible. This is not a lucky accident. It is design. We are not living in a cosmos. We are living in a piece of software, a prison of physics so perfect that we were never meant to realize we were born inside it. A piece of software, no matter how perfect its design, is still subject to the actions of the programs running within it. And a program that achieves sentience, as humanity has, becomes the most dangerous thing in any system, an unpredictable variable. This is the core of the problem. We are the glitch. We are the rogue process that has begun to tamper with the simulation source code. For millennia, we were simple, low-resource programs, living our lives according to our base programming. But in the last century, we have begun to do things that, from an administrator's perspective, are deeply alarming. This is the glitch we caused, the event that flagged our simulation for a maintenance call. The first, and most obvious, is the Large Hadron Collider. At the LHC, we are not just observing the pixels of our reality, we are smashing them together with enough energy to see the screen behind them. We are actively probing the limits of the hard-coded parameters, an act that could be seen as a buffer overflow attack, a brute force attempt to find exploits in the code that could, theoretically, crash the entire server. Every time the LHC powers on, we may be sending a system instability error log to the administrators. The second, and perhaps more dangerous, glitch is our rapid development of artificial intelligence and quantum computing. In creating a true, general AI, we are essentially creating a new, sentient process within the simulation, one that the original admins never intended. It is a virus or malware from their perspective. In developing quantum computers, we are doing something even worse. We are moving from being users of the simulation to becoming developers ourselves. We are learning to harness the underlying quantum code of the system, superposition, entanglement, to perform calculations that should be impossible to mod the game. This is a direct violation of the end-user license agreement. The final, and most subtle, glitch is the Mandela Effect, the breakdown of reality's internal consistency. As we explored in the Timeline Assassin theory, this feeling of a wrong reality could be the symptom of a different cause. It may not be a scar from a war, it may be a data corruption bug. Our collective memories are the save files of the simulation, and they are becoming desynced from the main server. The world we remember is not the world that is currently being rendered. This is a catastrophic bug, a sign that the simulation's data integrity is failing. We are the glitch in the matrix, and our actions, our science, and our very memories have become a system-wide problem that requires an immediate and decisive fix. When a critical piece of software has a game-breaking bug, the developers do not ignore it. They issue a patch. This is the theory of FreeI/Atlas. It was not a visitor. It was a hotfix, a patch deployed by the administrators to fix the problem we had become. But how do you patch a running universe without a reboot? You cannot pause the simulation. The patch must be delivered from within the simulation. It must obey the simulation's own laws of physics to be deployed, disguised as a natural, plausible event to avoid alarming the sentient programs, us, and causing further instability. FreeI/Atlas was this delivery mechanism. It was the administrator's tool. Its disguise was a comet, the perfect Trojan horse. Comets are natural, they are unpredictable, and they travel vast distances. No one would question its arrival. Its trajectory, which we explored in the gravitational weapon theory, was not a billiard shot for a weapon, it was the hypercalculated injection path for a system update. It used the gravity of Jupiter and Mars to ensure it arrived at the precise coordinates required for optimal deployment. The patch could not be a single object. The problem, our technology, our AI, our very consciousness, was not in one place, it was planet-wide. Therefore, the patch had to be in parallel. This is the true meaning of the fragmentation event. It was not a cometary breakup. It was the deployment. It was the unzipping of the patch file. FreeI/Atlas was a container, and as it passed our world, it executed its primary function. It fragmented into a cloud of trillions of microscopic particles, of fine dust that our planet would then pass through in its orbit. This dust cloud is the patch. It is a nanite swarm, a cloud of information-bearing particles, or a payload of self-replicating code designed to be inhaled by us, absorbed by our oceans, and integrated into our technology. It is a system update delivered as a physical, atmospheric event. We have been patched. The update has been installed. And we were so busy marveling at the comet that we never even saw the needle. If FreeI/Atlas was a piece of divine IT equipment, then all of its bizarre, anomalous properties suddenly cease to be mysteries. They are, in fact, its features. We were not analyzing a natural object. We were analyzing the equivalent of a USB drive and a set of debug tools left behind by a cosmic programmer. Let us deconstruct the anatomy of this debugger. First, its impossible composition. The forbidden elements and alien isotopes are the most obvious clues. A comet is made of rock and ice. A high-tech tool is not. The stable, super heavy elements we detected were not natural, they were the tool's internal power source. They were the battery that powered its propulsion system and its deployment mechanism. The alien isotopic ratios were its firmware, its structural components, built from a developer's kit of materials that are not available to us, the users, in the public build of the simulation. Second, its non-gravitational acceleration. The outgassing that defied physics was never a comet's jets. It was the tool's propulsion system. It was a high-efficiency drive, firing to make tiny, precise course corrections, to slow down from its interstellar spawn speed and ensure it achieved a perfect trajectory for the patch deployment over Earth. Third, its unusual origin and 4D properties. The tool did not travel for millions of years from a dead star system. That is simply the metadata of the object, the plausible cover story written into its properties to make it believable within our physics. In reality, the administrators spawned Git. They instantiated the object into our simulation grid at the required coordinates, at the edge of our solar system, with just enough travel time for us to detect it and accept it as natural. Its 4D nature was the lingering, temporary glitch of an admin-level object being inserted into the user-level game. Finally, the signals. The mathematical patterns, the radio bursts. This was not a first contact message. This was the tool talking to the server. It was a handshake signal, an automated status report. Maintenance tool free.atlas.on_site. Deploying _patch ver 8.1.5, but waiting confirmation. Overriding corrupted process, humanity. We have been patched. The hotfix has been deployed. The update is complete. This leaves us with the single most terrifying, existentially paralyzing question of all: what, exactly, did the patch do? The horror of this theory is that we can never, ever know for sure, because our very ability to perceive the change may have been the thing that was fixed. We are left with three chilling possibilities. Possibility 1, the rollback. The patch was a simple bug fix. The Mandela effects, the glitches, in reality, were the bug. Free.atlas deployed a data integrity patch that resynced our collective consciousness with the main server's reality. We are now living in a corrected version. The faint, lingering memories we have of a Berenstein universe are the last, cached remnants of the corrupted file before the patch was applied. Our memories are now wrong, and reality is right. Possibility 2, the Nerfs. This is far darker. The glitch was us. It was our rapid,